Please follow our page and like this video. Have you ever wondered, do the simplest objects in our homes actually hold divine secrets and the keys to abundance? A woman's financial abundance and the sustenance of her household depend not only on her husband's work outside, but on the power of the spiritual order within the home. The great Sufi scholar Ibn Arabi teaches that ordinary objects are actually manifestations and reflections of the divine names of the truth. According to his philosophy, if we approach an object with the right intention, that object becomes a gateway to blessings. This is not ordinary cleaning advice. This is the deepest knowledge of spiritual architecture gifted to women. There are 4 simple objects in your home that you use every day. When combined with the right intention and dhikr, they create an invisible magnetic field that accelerates the flow of sustenance into your home. When a woman grasps this secret, she doesn't just organize the house, she begins to manage the abundance. So, according to Ibn Arabi, what are these 4 mysterious household items that open the doors of sustenance and blessing for women, and how should we use them? In this video, we will examine the mystical meanings of these 4 items and the spiritual practices that should be done with them. This is ancient wisdom that will bring you not only worldly wealth, but also the peace of your heart and eternal abundance in your home. Are you, as the spiritual architect of your home, ready to learn this secret? Let's start with the first item. The first and strongest key to abundance in your home is water. Water is not just a simple liquid. According to Ibn Arabi, it is the most fundamental manifestation of the divine name, Al-Hayy, the living, on earth. It is the source of life. It is the symbol of purification, and it also represents the continuous flow of sustenance and livelihood. A woman should not use water merely for cooking or cleaning. She must see water as a carrier of spiritual energy. The cleanliness and flow of water directly affect the flow of abundance entering the household. If water is wasted, left dirty, or allowed to stagnate in the house, this signifies a spiritual disrespect against the flow of sustenance. The mystical power of water and the woman's role lie in purification and intention. Every moment a woman purifies her body with water, she performs not only a physical, but also a spiritual cleansing. In Ibn Arabi's philosophy, external cleanliness strengthens internal purity, the nafs-i safiyya. This internal purity positively changes the energy entering the home. This is the most fundamental spiritual step affecting her husband's sustenance. Blessing the water. A woman should approach water sources in the house, jugs, glasses, faucets, with divine love and prayer. While cooking, adding intention to the water by chanting the names Ya Latif, the subtle one, and Ya Razak, the provider, makes that food not only satisfying, but also blessed. According to Ibn Arabi, this is the purest application of the power of intention over matter. The woman blesses the water with her intention and raises the frequency of sustenance in the household. Symbolism of flow. Paying attention to ensure faucets do not leak and water is not wasted is not only economic, but also a spiritual duty. Leaking water means abundance, quietly escaping from the home. Keeping water sources clean and clear symbolizes the clarity of the mind and the purity of sustenance. By maintaining the water order in the house, the woman ensures the flow of sustenance remains clear. Source of peace. Always keeping the water in the house fresh and cool, and serving it to guests and the husband, increases spiritual grace and hospitality. A sincere prayer from the heart of a guest whose thirst you have quenched can bring abundance to the household from unexpected places. Water is the memory of the home's energy. When a woman understands this mystical power of water, she elevates cleaning from a mere physical task to the most ancient spiritual ritual that opens her husband's doors of sustenance. The second item in your home with the deepest spiritual power is the mirror. A mirror is not just a piece of glass reflecting your outer appearance. In Ibn Arabi's teaching, it is a mystical portal that reflects the servant's heart and shows the divine manifestation. The mirror is the most powerful tool for spiritual accounting and self-criticism gifted to a woman. A mirror always reflects two things: the image outside of you and the intention inside of you. In Ibn Arabi's philosophy, the outer world, the husband's sustenance, and the abundance of the household are a great mirror reflecting the purity of your heart. If the mirror is dirty, cracked, or dark, the abundance reflected in the household remains stained and incomplete. The mystical power of the mirror and the woman's role is the reflection of a pure heart. When a woman looks in the mirror, she should not only check her makeup or clothes. In that moment, she must check the purity of her heart. The brightness of the mirror is an indicator of the woman's purified soul. Keeping the mirror constantly clean and smooth symbolizes the woman's intention to cleanse her own heart from spiritual impurities like jealousy, envy, and unrest. A dirty heart repels abundance. A shining heart attracts sustenance, manifestation, and dhikr. Ibn Arabi says, everything is a face of His. The mirror is a manifestation of Allah's names, Al-Basir, the All-Seeing, and Al-Musawwir, the Shaper. When a woman looks at herself in front of the mirror, she must intend to see His art and the divine essence within herself. This shifts from an ordinary act to a form of dhikr. This awareness elevates the spiritual energy the woman radiates into her home. Broken mirror and misfortune. Keeping a broken mirror in the house is not just a superstition. Spiritually, it symbolizes the clutter of the heart and the fragmentation of manifestation. It divides the energy of the home and damages the integrity of sustenance. A wise woman should immediately repair broken mirrors or remove them from the house. Mirror, position, and abundance. Positioning the mirror in the bedroom to directly reflect the bed or the entrance door can scatter energy. In the Ibn Arabi tradition, a mirror should only reflect what is positive and orderly. Having a clean mirror in the kitchen or places where abundance gathers ensures that the sustenance in that area is reflected and multiplied. The mirror is an internal control mechanism gifted to women. When a woman learns to use the mirror as a mirror of the heart, she manages her household's abundance, not just with cleanliness and order, but with the purity of her heart. The wealth outside consists merely of your reflection in the mirror. The third item in your home, and the most ancient symbol of spiritual protection, is salt. Salt is not just a mineral that gives flavor to food. In Ibn Arabi's teaching, it is a manifestation of the divine name Al-Hafiz, the protector. Salt represents purity, permanence, and the protection of abundance. For thousands of years in mystical traditions, salt has been used as a substance that absorbs negative energy and provides spiritual balance. A woman should not see salt as limited to cooking. Salt is the strongest seal protecting the spiritual boundaries and peace of the home. Using salt with the right intention and dhikr ensures that the sustenance entering the household remains blessed without being wasted. The mystical power of salt and the woman's role, permanence and gratitude. Salt prevents food from spoiling, ensuring the permanence of abundance. When a woman adds salt to her food, she should intend not only to add flavor, but also for gratitude, asking that the sustenance granted by Allah remains permanent and the livelihood of the house continues. According to Ibn Arabi, this is the most concrete example of the purified intention practice over sustenance. Spiritual cleansing and protection. Cleansing the energy of the house is vital for the flow of abundance. Salt has the power to absorb bad energy, the evil eye, and negative vibrations that disrupt the peace of the home. A wise woman should sprinkle salt with prayer, especially at the entrance doors, windowsills, or corners of the house. This creates a spiritual shield around the household and blocks negativity from the outside. Remember, abundance multiplies in a clean and peaceful environment. Harmony within the household. Just as salt balances the taste of food, it symbolizes the harmony of relationships within the home. Sharing salt at the table and eating together strengthens family bonds. In Ibn Arabi's philosophy, harmony, love, and affection are the strongest dhikr that opens the doors of sustenance. An atmosphere of love and respect between spouses and children is abundance itself. Purification ritual. When a woman feels heavy or restless, she should perform a spiritual purification ritual by washing with salt water. This practice expels the negative energy accumulated in the body and soul. With this purification, the woman cleanses the internal darkness that would affect her husband's sustenance and returns to the home with positive energy. Salt is the security officer of abundance, gifted to women. When a woman understands that salt is not just a spice, but a symbol of divine protection, she not only cleans her household sustenance, but also seals it with the name Al-Hafiz. The purity of the salt is the purity of your home. The fourth item in your home, and the most concrete, most sacred symbol of sustenance is bread. Bread is not just your daily food. In Ibn Arabi's teaching, it is the most fundamental and constant manifestation of the divine name, Ar-Razzaq, the provider, on earth. The bread on our table is an indicator of Allah's mercy and constant grace upon us. A woman should view bread not just as a consumer good, but as a divine gift. Respect, gratitude, and thankfulness shown to bread multiply the abundance of all sustenance entering your home. Keeping and consuming bread in the household with the right intention is the final and strongest key that opens the door of abundance for women. The mystical power of bread and the woman's role: know, waste, and gratitude. Wasting bread is a great disrespect to the giver of sustenance and causes the home's abundance to flee rapidly. A wise woman should not throw away even a crumb. She must protect it from waste. Actions like kissing the bread and placing it against the forehead before sitting at the table, or picking up a piece of bread that has fallen, are concrete expressions of deep gratitude and respect for the divine blessing. In Ibn Arabi's philosophy, this is knowing the spiritual value of matter. Consumption with intention and prayer. Before cutting the bread or taking the first bite, a woman should pray and set an intention for all sustenance entering the home to be halal and blessed. Since bread provides the family's basic livelihood, the prayer and dhikr recited over it spread to all earnings. This intention activates the spiritual power of the bread and adds blessings to the husband's efforts outside. Charity and sharing. Sharing bread, especially warm bread fresh from the oven, with neighbors or those in need, brings the home's abundance back multiplied. According to Ibn Arabi's teaching, sustenance increases as it is shared. By sharing the bread in the house, the woman spreads the sustenance energy of the household to the world, and this energy returns multiplied. Ensuring the house is never without bread shows that the home is safe. Just as bread is the most important food on the table, the woman is the one who blesses her husband's bread boat, his source of income. When a woman supports her husband's struggle to earn a living with patience and trust in God, tawakkul, she increases the blessing of that bread. Welcoming and consuming bread with respect is the greatest spiritual appreciation for the husband's labor. Bread is the visible symbol of abundance in a woman's hand. Through the respect she shows to bread, a woman demonstrates her faith in Allah's name, Ar-Razzaq. This deep faith keeps the doors of sustenance open forever. Valuable seeker of wisdom, let us now see how those four ordinary objects, water, mirror, salt, bread, come together and how the woman concretizes her spiritual power. According to Ibn Arabi, these objects build not only the physical needs of the household, but also its spiritual infrastructure. 1. Water represents purification and continuous flow. This means the woman must keep her heart constantly clean and reinforce her faith in the flow of sustenance. Just as clarity is essential for water, clarity is essential for intention. 2. The mirror is the symbol of self-control and inner purity. The mirror reminds the woman of her responsibility to see the stains of jealousy and unrest in her heart and to wipe them away. The abundance outside consists merely of your reflection in the mirror. 3. Salt represents protection and permanence. It symbolizes the woman's duty to protect her home from negative energies and ensure the permanence of the blessings granted by Allah. The purity of salt is the spiritual boundary of the home. 4. Bread concretizes gratitude and respect for the ephemeral. Bread teaches the woman to remember that sustenance comes from Allah at every moment and to be grateful even for the most basic blessing. Respect for bread is respect for the giver of sustenance. These four items are the external manifestations of internal spiritual power in a woman's hand. They turn the woman not just into a housewife, but into a spiritual architect, managing the abundance of the home. Valuable seeker of wisdom, we have completed our journey. Remember that water, mirror, salt, and bread are not just objects. They are your spiritual pillars managing your abundance. As the spiritual architect of your home, as you approach these four items with the right intention, your husband's doors of sustenance will open with divine love. Now, put this sacred knowledge into action. Write your intention in the comments. I am managing the abundance of my home. Subscribe to the channel, because Allah's abundance is upon wise women.